Hello everyone, welcome to episode 3 of Just Ask Jameson. I will be going through the questions that people in the Academy have posted, and whoever gets the most reactions on the questions, I'll answer each week. And if you don't get your question answered, feel free to ask it again in the next one. It will be every week. So first question I will be answering is from Farhan. The question is, what do you think is the most natural meal frequency for a man? So for instance, is it 1 meal a day, or should we eat 6 meals a day in terms of goals? The number one optimal balance well-being on all levels, spiritual, mental, physical, emotional. And if I do 1 meal a day and eat my meal in the evening, how long must I wait before I go to sleep? Is there an optimal time duration between the last meal and going to bed? So to answer the first question, the healthy frequency for a man to eat is to listen to his body and to be able to comprehend what his body is telling him he should be eating and when his body is telling him he should be eating. So a man who's eating 6 times a day because his body is hungry 6 times a day and he's having a solid meal that's fitting all of his nutrition profiles is beneficial, whereas a person who's eating 1 meal a day because their body is hungry once every day and then they're able to satiate that feeling and then they're able to eat again the next day and get all their macronutrients and micronutrients in during that time is both fine. So when it comes to the timing and how you should eat, it's really individualized. It's about what time your body wants you to eat. And that doesn't include snacking. Snacking when your body's bored or when you just want to satiate yourself with some sense of taste, that doesn't count as being hungry. And when your metabolism's hungry, you'll actually feel that in your stomach and your body will enjoy food and you'll be able to taste food better and you'll be able to actually get the most nutrition out of your food. So if you're always eating, you're not going to be able to get to that point. But if you're eating and you're eating the right foods, which is very important because fixing your metabolism has a lot to do with what your body's eating, so what you're putting into your body. So making sure that you eat the right foods and then you listen to your body. And if you're not eating the right foods, step 1 is to fix what you're eating. Step 1 is to eat real food and allow your body to take time to rest and digest, and to also take time to not rest and digest, because your body shouldn't be digesting all the time, but your body should also be able to tell you what it wants to do. And you should be getting hungry. Hungry is a good thing. And if you get hangry, then that means you have a little bit of a problem with your hunger. That could be a metabolism problem as well. So make sure you start to learn your metabolism. And I personally learned a lot from a book called Heal Your Metabolism, which is called How to Heal Your Metabolism. It's by Kate Deering. And she has some great information regarding metabolism health and kind of how to get back on track and start your metabolism. Because sometimes people who aren't ready to fast may mess up their metabolism from fasting too much. And some people who are on a certain strict diet may mess up their metabolism from cutting out a certain carb or cutting out fats or cutting out too much protein, or being able to figure out what the problem is and diving into it's very important. And if I eat OMAD, which is 1 meal a day, and if I do that in the evening, how long must I wait before I go to sleep? So going to bed and eating is almost sin, right? People think that you go to bed and you eat something, that means that you're going to get fat. The problem with eating before bed is more of the consistency of it. It's the added calories, it's the satiation in your body. And yes, it's nice for your body to have a fast overnight and be able to let your body process all the food that you've had throughout the day. But also, if you're eating at night, that could be a sign of cravings because you have a metabolism that's not healed. So if your metabolism is craving food at night and you've already eaten plenty of food that day, and you listen to your body and you're able to eat all this food and you're still craving food, then you should probably fix what you're eating and fix your macronutrients and your micronutrients, because that might be what's causing those urges. However, if you're eating 1 meal a day, or if you're eating close to bedtime and your body's okay with that, then the only issue you would have is if you eat too much or you're eating and you might have acid reflux because you're laying down, and if you're laying on your side, your stomach acid changes positions. But eating before bed isn't a sin. Eating before bed isn't going to make you overweight. It's the consistency of eating every single night and then not being able to recover from that cycle, and your body's getting trapped in that. So don't be afraid of eating before bed, but also give your body a little time to just, a little bit of digestion helps, because you don't want to get any acid reflux or any acid because your stomach's doing a lot of work. So you should rather be sitting and letting your blood flow to your stomach and giving yourself a little bit of time before bed. Personal preference, but if you go to bed and you have a very big meal before bed, you're probably not going to feel too good because you're going to feel full, but you're also not going to be overweight if you do that every day for a couple of weeks. Because it's close to bed, it'd be more of an overweight problem because you're eating a lot of calories before bed. So if every night you have a big bowl of ice cream before bed and you're already eating 3,000, 4,000 calories that day, then that bowl of ice cream isn't going to do you much good. However, if you're eating a bowl of ice cream and you don't have all those calories every day, then you're probably not going to put on a ton of weight if you're taking care of yourself. So make sure you look at the big picture with that. Question number 2. Where should someone start if they want to deepen their knowledge on nutrition and health? Do you have some specific resources? That's from Cornell. So once again, the best teacher of your health is your own body. And so many different people in different fields are telling you this information. There's so much different stuff that you're getting. You're getting this idea, and it's like, who do I listen to? So the best thing to do would be to listen to your body, right? And if you find something, say for example, you are not hungry at all and you're realizing that your body just doesn't want to eat, or your stomach's always hurting, or you're having poor bowel movements, then look into people who are focusing on specialists on that department, people who are trying to naturally heal those problems, because it's not a one-size-fits-all problem for people. So you have these overarching people who want to share information about food, and unfortunately it is not going to give you a lot of insight on your personal problem, because these people are more of a big picture and they're trying not to post too much regarding specific problems or trying to get the nitty-gritty, because someone who has the same problem as you may have a different way of healing their problem that doesn't work for you. So keep that in mind. I personally have a couple accounts that I follow. I really like to digest information on YouTube, Instagram, different blog posts, podcasts. That's where I really absorb the most information. My favorite people to listen to on Instagram, my people I follow on Instagram, I listen to their podcasts, would be Optimal Body Nutrition, Matt Blackburn, Kitty Bloomfield, Max Lugavere, Primal Edge Health. And then when I go into more focused on my own health and I focus in on certain demographics, there's people that I like for like high fat, how to make sure I do things well with fasting and high fat. And that would be Ben Azadi is a great resource for that. And then there's also people like Troy Casey and Elliot Hulse who talk a lot about fasting, but also talk about just eating real food and not being neurotic or getting to a point where your body is orthorexic, where you're so obsessed with eating healthy food that you're stressing yourself out and you're stressing your cells out just because you want to eat all this healthy food. And if you really want to get into some nitty-gritty and some scientific terms, then of course PubMed.gov is a resource that you can go to and look up actual articles and science on different studies, but at the same time, you don't know things 100%. Like, we're still so unaware of things as human beings, and people are so different that even double-blind placebo studies could be leading in the right direction, but also they could be totally just falsified and could be funded by the wrong people. So really listen to your body on that one, because once you find out what your problem is, then you can really do the research and you can be more specific on what you need to heal, and you can try different methods and you can self-experiment with yourself with different people's ideas and see what works best for you. What is the best foolproof, easy detox regimen someone could follow? What most people should generally do. That's from Andre. So the best thing to do when it comes to a detox regimen that a large group of people can follow, so the general masses we're talking about here, is just eating real food. Because your body's not going to be able to detox if you're eating shitty food all the time. And if you're eating shitty food, then you can do all these different methods, fasting, you can take these different products, but your body's still going to be living off of that poor food choice that you have. So the best detox regimen that I would give someone would be to go to your farmer's market, make sure you're getting stuff that's not sprayed with chemicals, and make sure you're getting stuff that is not high in the NPK fertilizer, which is basically the fertilizer that we put in most of our monocultures and monocrops in order to make the food stronger. And it's the easiest and the cheapest way to grow food, but it's also lacking a lot of nutrients. So I personally take Sheila G to get extra nutrients in, and I filter my water because there's a lot of minerals and a lot of things in the water that are actually already in excess in our body that are taking over other opportunities from different minerals to get their fair share. So they're overtaking your body and you're getting things like iron overload and you're not getting things like copper. So making sure that you get the right food is super important for that process. So that is episode 3 of Just Ask Jameson, and I also have everything written out as well for full descriptions, so you can see what the answers to the questions are written out as well. Thank you so much, and I'll see you next week for Just Ask Jameson episode 4.